Let's take a closer look at the so-called mini DRS of the McLaren rear wing in Baku. First of all, the track in Baku has the longest straight in the F1 calendar with 2.2 kilometers. There is a DRS zone, but not for the complete length of the straight. Also, DRS is not enabled at all times by the regulators. And so, it is a significant advantage if you can find a way to reduce drag of your rear wing assembly when DRS is closed. And for this, you can use the flexibility of components. It's an old topic, and we have seen flexibility in a lot of different ways to improve the performance of cars. For example, the flexible flaps which close the slot gap and cause the wing to stall on the straight, resulting in less drag. Or complete wing assemblies which reduce their angle of attack and hence reduce drag. To be clear, everything is flexing, nothing is infinitely stiff. But teams were intentionally using a few layers less carbon in some areas to reach a certain movement at higher speeds, and the FIA was catching up with stricter flexibility tests. First, they only tested in vertical direction, and wings were fine, but still moved on the track. Now, they also test with a combined load in longitudinal and vertical direction. Before 2022, most of the wing flex came from the end plates, and so they introduced end plate flexibility tests. Now, since the reintroduction of beam wings, the wing assembly is fixed to the beam wing. And like the name states, it works like a beam and deflects. So they also introduced beam wing flexibility rules. So it sounds like everything is being tied up. Now let's have a look at the wing movements we could see in Baku. You see the McLaren on the left and the Ferrari on the right as a reference. You see that the Ferrari wing is pretty rigid in itself. The beam wing deflects a bit down, and because of the swan neck mounting through the center pillar, the wing assembly is backing off a bit, which is normal. At the McLaren, however, that looks a bit different. The first thing to note is that the rear wing end plate is not as rigid as the Ferrari end plate in itself, and it twists a bit. The result of that is that the main plane's trailing edge can move a bit further down and is backing off a bit more. Keep in mind that the end plate is only tested with an inward direction for flexibility. But the real trick happens above that. If we take a look at the rack boxes of the rear wing assembly, we know that there are flexibility tests for beam wing, end plate, main plane and flap. But there are no flexibility tests for the orange rack box. And this is what they call rear wing tip. It's effectively the fixed part of the flap which holds the rotational axis. So, according to the regulation, each part needs to pass its test separately. In case of the McLaren, the part which holds the rotational axis of the flap is flexing a lot, and that is the part which isn't tested for flexibility. That moves the rotational axis further backwards and down. At the front, the flap is being held by a DRS design with a rocker, which stays in place, so the pillar is pretty stiff, but there's a relatively long link between this rocker and the flap, and that allows the flap to back off more than the rest of the wing assembly, resulting in this angle difference we see at the side. If you want to know all about DRS design and the different concepts, check out my other video with the link below. So it's a nice example of keeping everything legal but flexing the part of the wing which isn't tested. And the result is a backing off flap on the straights and a larger slot gap which reduces drag on the straights. And in a tight field like we have it now, every little helps. So let me know what you think about this, and if you want to become an F1 engineer and design things like this, check out my online live courses with the links below, which prepare you for a career in F1. If you want to support the channel, please consider to become a B-Sport Club member for more videos like this. See you at the next video.